spiritual radio. This is achieveradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/achieveradio.
Oh, the music stopped.
The music has stopped. Where are you? Come on.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? I can't see you. I'm seeing the bars. Welcome to Magical Mofos.
And I was going to say what episode we're on, but I have no idea. So let's forget that.
6 or 7.
So I'm Diane Lotzier of soulrestoration.ca.
And I am Althea Montgomery of creativeclearings.com. All right.
Perfect. Okay, so we need to throw in a little extra magic to get you to see.
I know, right? The magic is being kind of weird tonight. I'm seeing bars. You can see me though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So let's proceed.
The most important thing is that you can hear, and then we can speak. And I'm just going to throw out the number here, and then you wanted to talk a little bit about people calling in, but the number to call in, excuse me, my nose is itchy. The number to call in is 602-666-6027. That's the main line. So you can call in with your questions, with the stuff you'd like to work on or clear or anything like that. And Althea, you wanted to say something.
Well, I just really wanted to encourage people to call in if you have any questions around like your own intuitive insights. We all have intuitive abilities, and sometimes it can be uncomfortable and scary, and a lot of times there's no one to talk to. Everyone is intuitive. It's just a lot of times it's not very well received, and this is a really nice place where you guys can call in. I mean, you can even make up a fake name. You can throw your voice, make it sound different. But, you know, I really encourage you guys to take this opportunity to call in, talk to us, get some energetic help, clearings, insights, support, laugh, whatever. You know, just take advantage of the time that we have here, because that's why we're here. That's why we do this, because we love helping. And so please, anything that you'd like to talk about, we would love to.
Yeah, and thank you for mentioning people don't have to use their real names. It doesn't matter. We don't need to know what your real name is, and you can just use a fake name if that helps.
If that helps you.
Yeah, everybody, you know, everybody is intuitive, and like you said, sometimes sometimes people have been made wrong for it when they were children, or sometimes people shut down their intuition because they had the awareness before something bad happened, that something bad would happen, and then instead of learning from it, they shut it down. Sometimes, sometimes it's that people think that it's supposed to show up a different way than it does, so they have expectations of what being psychic or intuitive is and what that's supposed to look like and feel like, and it's really a personal it's a personal thing, right? The way your psychicness comes through, your awareness comes through. So you don't have to. Yeah, it's not like people used to ask me, how do you talk to angels and how do you hear angels? And first of all, I mean, whether it's angels or the universe or God or whatever, it's just, you know, it could be any of those things. So it's not about labeling that, but it's also your awareness and your intuition, right? So sometimes people think it's going to be this great voice coming down, you know, or something that's very dramatic, when it's really just about listening to that inner voice. I remember hearing Oprah a long time ago saying, they were talking about how it's really just your gut instinct. Oh, what does she? No, never mind what I was going to say. But anyway, it's really just your what we call your gut instinct, right? It's as simple as that, I think, intuition and awareness. So
Well, it's always evolving too, the way you're going to pick up the information. Mine has evolved a lot over the years. I feel everything really, really strongly. As a kid, I saw things, so I said, oh no, if I have to feel everything this strong, please don't make me see it too. And it's only
Right.
been over the last 5, 6 years that I've started to ease into that a little bit more, that, okay, you can let me see a little bit more to be comfortable with it, because it can feel overwhelming. It's a lot of information. That's
Yeah.
really what we're dealing with, is information, and it's play around with it. Ask your body when it's giving you messages, and how they come to you will be different. Sometimes people feel chills, sometimes tingles, sometimes people get headaches, stomach aches, see things, all different types of things, and none of it's wrong, none of it's right. It's just different. And just playing around with how are you receiving and perceiving information, intuitive information right now. And, I even love to hear the stories about it, about cool little awarenesses that people have had. So I
Yes.
just want to say that so that people know that they can call in, that this is, so to speak, a safe place for them to chat about that stuff too.
And I find the more this is what I learned, 20 some years ago when I was exploring my intuition. Okay, we've got a caller. We'll take him in a few minutes. So yeah, I was going to say, what was I going to say now? I lost it. Oh, when I started opening up about my experiences, I found that people who didn't necessarily talk about it to other people would open up to me and talk to me about their experiences. So it was, they wouldn't have necessarily talked about it, or you wouldn't have thought, well, this is somebody. But then, the most random person would tell me that they'd had some ghost stuff, or things that people don't necessarily talk about, everyday conversation. So the more you open up about it, the more you will find that other people have similar stories, right? It won't necessarily be everybody, but it's a lot more common than people think. So I think I'm seeing a little bit of a time delay, Althea. So you want to work your magic again. We need to sync up a little bit again.
The energy is just so powerful and potent today that we are affecting the electronics again.
I think that's the problem. So we need to. We'll fix that. Okay. So let's take our first caller
now.
Yes. So let's go to Chris, and then we'll go to Aaliyah. So Aaliyah, if you don't mind hanging on. So let's take Chris first.
How you doing?
Hello. Hi, Chris. How are you?
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
Pardon? You're doing fine?
I'm doing fine. Yes, ma'am.
Great. Well, what would you like to talk about? Or would you like some help with something?
Y'all get readings?
No, we don't do readings. we help people clear stuff. So we're not really, you get guidance through that, but we're not really doing readings per se.
We're clearing stuff so that you realize you're creating your reality. So if you don't like the way things are going, we just move that stuff out and you change it.
That's cool.
It's super cool. It's cooler than somebody telling you, hey, it sucks and it's only going to get worse. Much cooler than that.
Yes, ma'am.
So did you have any questions or anything you wanted to clear? Anything at all?
The dude I stay with, give me a hard time. Just want to clear out. The dude I stay with.
So your roommate?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? The person you live with, your roommate? You're having difficulty with your roommate?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay. Okay. So Diane, do you have anything on this? This is throwing me off just a tiny bit because I'm just looking at a weird rainbow circle in front of me and I can't see your
That's
face.
what I look like, Althea. I look like a circle rainbow. I don't know.
In rainbow form. And I'm really small and I don't know. It's just throwing me off a little bit. But so he'd like to clear up some stuff about the roommate. I don't know if you have any questions for him. I think you said he gives us hard.
Say that again, Chris.
I said, that's cool.
That's cool. Okay, we have a tiny bit of a delay, and so sometimes we end up crossing each other. So I might have to ask you to repeat because if I'm talking anyway, we just end up crossing over a little bit. So, Chris, what's the problem with your roommate?
I think he's jealous of me. I think he's jealous of me.
I didn't get that, Althea. What did he say?
I think he said he thinks he's jealous of him.
Oh.
Yes,
Well, probably.
Yeah, I'm getting yes on that. Mhm.
You're very aware, so you're just picking up on his stuff. So, what if that didn't matter?
yeah, I can take that.
Yeah, just let him be jealous. If that's what he's choosing, just let him be that. You can't control somebody else, right? You can't control somebody else, and you're not going to change who you be because somebody else doesn't like it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So, yeah, so does it make you feel any kind of way that he's jealous about you, or does it just create tension, or what is it about that bothers you?
He messed me from a reason. He messes with me for any reason.
Did you get that, Alfie?
I think he said he messes with him for no reason, but he does have a reason. He's jealous of you. And you actually enjoy it, kind of, don't you? You were giggling about it. So can you just admit that you kind of enjoy that he's jealous of you?
No.
So Diane was saying, is it okay if he's jealous of you? Because the thing is,
that's cool.
If you're going to have a reaction, like, you can say that it's cool and everything, and we've all been there. We've all had people be kind of weird to us and jealous of us. It happens. But if you say it's okay, but on an energetic level, you're still holding on to it and you have resistance and you're pushing against him, it just keeps causing more and more of that because you're like, oh, he's jealous of me. You have an energy of expectation going where you just keep creating it, and you recreate it that he's going to show up in ways that he's picking on you. And it's just going to keep happening. So if you don't have, let's say, a point of view about it, if you truly don't care if he's jealous of you and you can sort of laugh it off, that will help you to let all of that energy go. So I can go ahead and clear the energy out of your field right now if you'd like me to. Just take a breath, and I'll just ground your energies a little bit, remove anything out of your field that doesn't belong to you. Relax.
And Althea, let's also clear everywhere that Chris is envious of anybody else, right? And that's just I think it's just a natural thing that we all have those moments where we're envious. So
yeah.
if he's in any way sort of reflecting anything to you or projecting anything, or you're projecting on him, so anywhere that you're anywhere, Chris, that you're afraid that you're too much, and then you're projecting onto him jealousy. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but if you feel like maybe you're too much for somebody, and then you sort of project to them that they're going to be jealous or they won't understand you or you're too much for them, we actually create that in our environment, right? So let's clear everywhere where you're afraid that you're too much or even not enough for anybody else, and anywhere that matters.
Yeah, all that energy of where you're trying to keep yourself small, because you know you've been doing that. Just breathe into any area in your body where you feel like you're holding on to that. Gonna release anywhere that you need to keep yourself small, fit in.
And that if you didn't keep yourself small, you would really be too much for the world.
Oh, no.
No, we can't have that, Chris.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Whew.
So all of the envy.
Whew. Has this been going
Coming.
on for a long time? Because it's really sticky. It's like, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again. Whew. Did you say something else, man? Sorry.
No, Chris, would you be willing to clear, to destroy, to break all of your promises and contracts and oaths and vows between you and him across all lifetimes and dimensions?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, wrong, yeah. Okay. Ooh. Oh, something just shifted.
Yeah. Wow.
And Chris, are you anywhere that you're not comfortable expressing yourself and your truth because it's too much and people won't get it or people will think it's too much? Eh?
I think so.
Yeah. So let's clear all of that. You're so polite.
He's so nice.
I know. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Whew. Oh, he's from Tennessee. You're from the South. I'm from Canada. We don't. Every time I've heard somebody say yes, ma'am, they're always from the South, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. I love it. So what does it feel like now, Chris, when you think about your roommate? Is it the same? Does it feel different?
It feels good.
Feels good?
It's good.
And you know what's interesting is I actually understood what you said there.
Yes, ma'am.
You're talking clearer.
Talk more. You have a very nice voice, actually.
You do. Yeah.
You really do. Just breathe that in. Receive that. People will be jealous of you. They'll love you. They'll hate you, and it doesn't mean a damn thing. Just breathe it in.
Yep.
Yes, I do. I have an amazing voice. Just breathe it in. Whew.
Everywhere that you've been made wrong for your voice.
Wow.
And for your expressing how you express yourself. Would you be willing to clear all of that now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Well, look at that.
You sound so different every time.
Yeah. That's so cool.
I want you to call in next week and sing to us.
And Chris, everywhere you've bought the lie that you're not good enough and that you're everywhere you've bought the lie of disempowerment. So it's like it's almost this feeling of not what is it? It's like this energy of somebody disempowered me and then but you're not a victim. So if somebody disempowered you, you let it happen or you don't take the power back, right? So I don't know, there's a very specific energy. It almost feels like somebody takes something from you. So everywhere that you've bought that lie, that's real and that's true, and even if something specific did happen, we then in every moment have the choice to take that power back, to not keep giving it or not keep allowing the person to take it. So everywhere that you've bought the lie that you can't take that power back, that it's not yours, that it's somebody else takes it, it's gone, that it isn't right for you to take it back, that it's polite, that it's polite for you to leave it with them, that it's not polite to just take it back. There's something there. Are you ready to clear all of that now? Let that all go?
Yes, ma'am. For real.
Did that make sense, what I just said?
Yes, ma'am, that makes sense. I heard you say it. I heard you.
It did? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And all of the lies that you've bought and sold, that it's normal to be disempowered. That's not just for you, my friend. Will you clear all of that now? Will you let all of that go and change that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Whew, wow. I mean, really, that's how most of society functions, right? In this lie that they don't have power and that they're disempowered. Ooh, it's time to choose something different. And everywhere that you've bought and sold the lie that if you take your power back, then you're taking power away from somebody else. And you're too nice to take somebody else's power away, so you're not taking yours back. Will you clear all of that and change all of that?
Yes, ma'am. I clear.
Ooh. Cool. Whoa. Althea, are you getting anything else?
I'm clearing a whole bunch of stuff. I'm just not talking about it. Yeah, you have a lot of stuff coming out of your chest area, the chest and throat. I just have to say, you have such an amazing energy. You're such a wonderful being. Like, you have such a kindness to you, and there's such a power behind the kindness. So if you can just bring up any energy where you still feel that it's like this weird distortion that being kind is somehow a bad thing and kind of disempowering, kind of like she was saying, but there's still something there. It's really distorted.
Yeah, I'm kind of picking up this thing of like, there's this thing around like, if I make myself lesser, and you know, Chris, we all do this. We make ourselves less than we truly are, than who we really be as infinite beings. And so, you know, it's up to each one of us, if we want to sort of clear all of that and become, you know, the power that we be. But sometimes we buy these lies and of what these things mean. And what I'm getting is, and you can let me know if that rings true for you or not, but this thing of like, if I make myself lesser or I don't be in my power, that it's somehow helping other people, that it's like a healing thing, that you're creating more space. That's a common thing too. Like, if I don't take too much space, or if I make myself lesser, then I'm allowing other people to take the space that they need. And that's like, that's somehow a kindness to them or to the planet. So everywhere that you might have bought and sold that lie across all lifetime, space, and dimension, are you willing to let all of that go now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Whew. How are you feeling now, Chris?
Huh?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling better.
Good. Do you have anything else, Althea?
Well, I just wanted to say that when you first got on the phone, you asked if we did readings, and a lot of times when people want to do readings, well, you're here because you want to change. So just be aware of what you're thinking about and talking about, and catch yourself when you're expecting things to be the same with the roommate, since that was the main thing that you were asking about. Go into, you know, I don't know if you're going to see them tonight or tomorrow morning, but just be aware of the energy you're emitting. Just take a nice deep breath, keep yourself calm, grounded, and stay in your power and in your body, and catch yourself if you're expecting the same stuff to happen. That's how you're really creating your reality. As you are aware of what you're doing, you're aware of what you're emitting, where your thoughts are going like, oh man, he's going to bug me again. And you go, wait, that's not what I'm going for. So what could I do here that would allow it to be different. So it's all about catching yourself, not beating up on yourself about it, but going, oh, okay, this is where I'm focusing, and that's not where I want to go at all. So that's what you do after we clear out the energy, is just keep choosing something different, because people, it's life. We're creators and co-creators, and things are always shifting and changing, and you staying in your awareness of where you're thinking, or what you're thinking about, and where you're focusing, that gives you the opportunity to choose something different at any given moment. So he may be standing in front of you one day and he may be a jerk, but you don't have to go back into the same patterns that we, just talked about and cleared for you. Just notice what your knee-jerk reactions are. Notice how you used to show up to him, and choose something different. And he may be surprised, and he may try to, rope you back into the same dynamic, but you don't have to go for that. You don't.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am. Makes perfect sense.
Perfect. Look at that. You're talking better. That's awesome, Chris. Please feel free to call back again. We'd love to talk to you again some other time. We're on every Monday.
Yes.
What time?
Awesome.
Every Monday 7, so it would be, 10 Eastern? Yeah, every Monday 10 Eastern.
I don't know what time it is for you right now, Chris, but yeah, 7
Eastern
Pacific
time, 10
and 10.
I think, maybe. Yeah, so please call back in. Let us know how you're doing. We'd love to talk to you more and help you out more. Our pleasure.
Okay, thank y'all, guys.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank y'all.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
All right, we'll go to Aaliyah. Hello, Aaliyah.
Hello there.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I just got a little bit of a knot in my stomach listening to the other caller, and I can't help but wonder. I was having a conversation with an artist friend of mine yesterday regarding subjects of race and how people of color are often suppressed and will then suppress themselves in order to not be mistreated. I would almost be curious to know the ethnicity of the individual who was on the phone, because I felt that it was a little deeper than what was being acknowledged, and I could be wrong. It could also be socioeconomic. Anyone who's in a position who may not feel how can I explain it? Like some of the most creative
you know what,
people.
Though, Aaliyah, let's talk about you, because he's not on the phone anymore.
Okay.
So.
No, that's true. But I have a knot in my stomach, and so let's talk about me then. So because that was impacting me. So.
Yeah. And so how so? Without talking about him, how is it impacting you? What's your knot about?
Well, I think.
What are you not being?
What is what?
She just said, what are you not being? She was making a joke about the knot, trying to play on the word knot.
Oh, right.
I did a funny. It wasn't funny, I guess.
I don't know. I just.
Did you get a knot from the previous call? Something that came up with that? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I just was having a conversation with an artist friend yesterday, and we were discussing just the power that some individuals have, but that don't feel their confidence in using it and expressing it fully, and reasons for that, and how to sort of awaken that, and how to step out of your world. And I think as an individual, it's something that I struggle with every day, and trying to figure out, what I'm really supposed to be doing instead of derailing myself or, sidetracking myself.
And what if it's less about what you should be doing and more about just being? Because I find that whole, what are you supposed to be doing? It's very much the way.
Yeah.
It's very much how we are.
What I'm saying. Yeah. No, I guess what I'm saying. Knowing myself and knowing my capacity to do more, being aware that I'm not reaching far. You know, today I have a cold, and I've just sort of given myself permission to not do much, but it's really hard for me to not, like, get up and clean the kitchen, just like clean the house, you know. But
I know, but that's why what I was saying is, if it's more about, like, in this society, we're very much driven to what we're supposed to be doing, or what we're not doing. But it's all about the doing, and what you should be doing in life, and what you should be doing during the day, and what you should be doing around the house, and instead of just being you and your truth, and, like you're saying, being your power instead of not using your power and being out of your power. So being the most you that you can be is going to bring you the awareness of what's a greater contribution, and when, you know, what and when to do. But it's not about what you're doing. I mean, there are people who do things and they feel like shit. Like, that's not necessarily a great, you know, that's why I'm saying, it's, if you're focused on the doing, that's almost a distraction, because then we're focused on something other than just being, and being in the awareness of what would contribute more. Contribute.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that you would like to work on or explore tonight?
I didn't really have, I was just tuning in. I didn't really have anything specifically. But I know that it's challenging for me when I do a clearing and I'm supposed to clear, you know, not go back and do the same patterns. I'm finding that I'm a little hard-headed.
Well, so then you're judging yourself for not doing things right. So everywhere that you're making yourself wrong for not being perfect, are you willing to let all of that go now?
Yes.
I mean, in my experience, Althea, maybe you can give your point of view on this, but in my experience, it's very rare that one clearing one time is just going to, you know, clear something. Sometimes it does when it's an awareness that I have myself. Then I'm like, oh, okay, and then I can clear it. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come back, and it doesn't mean that other pieces of the thing don't come. And especially since when what's happening is you're picking up stuff from the world around you, that stuff is still in the world around you. So you might clear it, but then you pick it back up, right? So it's if you go into the wrongness of you for being in it again, I mean, it could be that you're picking it up again, or that there are pieces that you still need to clear, or there's a lie underneath it that you're buying into, that is kind of, you know, the platform for all of the stuff you're trying to clear, and you can't get to that. You can't clear the whole thing because you're standing on that platform that's a lie. Does that make sense?
I'm trying to follow you. I'm not sure that I can.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. So today there's a group on Facebook. What is it, Althea? Hashtag I am beauty or something.
I am beauty. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So every day they've been giving us these challenges about, you know, awareness around our bodies and all of this stuff. And today it was, you know, talk about or post something around a part of your body that you've made wrong or that you've judged. And for me, it's my stomach area. And anyway, I won't go into the whole story, but basically I ended up posting a second time and just put a picture of my stomach because all of these people were doing it. And it was so amazing. And I was like, oh, I'm not judging them, so why am I judging me? So I posted a picture and I was typing around about it. And all of a sudden I got this awareness that I had bought the lie that I wasn't okay or I shouldn't love a fat tummy. And so, like, all of this time, I've been destroying and uncreating and clearing all of these points of views about my body and being bigger than I'd like to be, and all of these things, when underneath all of it, there's this lie that I've been buying that I shouldn't be loving that in the first place. So now that I've had the awareness of that lie, then a lot of stuff has cleared and has changed.
Yeah.
Because it was that foundational lie, right? So I'm just saying, sometimes when you're having a hard time getting rid of a pattern or getting rid of the thing that you think you cleared, again, maybe you just need to run that clearing more often. I mean, there are clearings that I use, like in Access, I'll loop them and I listen to them every night over and over and over and over again. And it just, some things take more clearings, more times, because you've got different levels of it.
Yeah, you just made me, or I should say, I just became aware of, I got a call, I don't know, I dance between saying I don't want to do on-camera work, I'd rather do production work, and yet on-camera work options keep coming to me.
Right.
And I think that I've been standing on the lie that I don't really want to do it, but I think somewhere deep down inside I do want to sort of like accomplish it, like do it and do it well,
right,
on camera. And
awesome.
So I think.
So where have you made that wrong? Where have you made that wrong? Have you made it wrong to desire to be on camera?
No, let me tell you. So today, with the whole deal coming out with Harvey Weinstein, I had to look at the fact that one of the roles that I turned down that would have been different in my life was because I didn't want to sleep with the director and his wife. And other opportunities came my way. I was dating the person, so it didn't feel as bad. You know, when one of my exes said I didn't give her a role because she didn't sleep with me, well, it was kind of like, yeah, you slept with everybody. So I kind of wore it as a badge of honor that I didn't sleep with them. But there was coiling around sexual expectations when I really just wanted to perform my craft. And having been violated in the past, I think that that's probably somewhere all wrapped up in. And one of the reasons why I stepped away from film work is because I never saw a place where that wouldn't be a part of the scenario and getting a job. Production became, of course, more safe because I would be in a position of control as opposed to being passive.
Right. So everything that is, all of that, are you willing to change all of that now, to clear it?
Yes.
Okay. So all of the lies that you've bought and sold that around the sexual expectation will always be tied into on-camera work, are you willing to change and clear that now?
I'm ready to change and clear that, but is it, I hear what you're saying, I guess. Yeah, I'm ready to clear.
So if you, I understand, like, I get where you're going with, you know, I can change it in my head, but it still exists out there and blah, blah, blah. But if you're not a victim and you're a creator of your reality, then what can you be and do to create something different in the future? Or to create a different outcome if it does happen again. Because if you go into, you know, it's not a fun thing to have happen. I'm not saying it is, but if it happens again, it's you know, how do you react to that? How do you take that and create something different? Or how do you be open to that not happening again, and having different kinds of possibilities, because I'm nowhere near that world, and I've heard stories, right? So I think that if you're in that world, it's probably an easy thing to buy into, that happens. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but the more you hear about it, then it starts becoming it's a projection, it's a conclusion, it's a like all of these things that you have to kind of be able to pull yourself out of that and go, okay, so how can I create? So if you're this powerful creator, then what can I create now? What can I be and do different, so that I'm creating a different reality in this? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Althea, do you have something? I can see the wheels turning.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just being aware, again, every day and every moment, what you're doing. And even if, I always say that if it's in your world, then there's at least something, no matter how small it is, that drew that into your reality. So why not take responsibility for it? Because then you can change it. And
Exactly.
People make things way too damn complicated. Yes, there are some things that seem to need to be cleared a few times, but we overcomplicate that a lot of times too. And what happens is people sometimes will get addicted to the clearing part of it, because they're also unwilling to choose beyond that. Take responsibility and say, hey, I'm going to do this, because it goes back to the same thing the first caller was going through, and we've all been there. All the people I've talked to have been to a place at some point where you're afraid of your power. You're afraid it's going to piss people off, and you're going to be ostracized and all that. And the thing is, you may get to the point where you just don't even care anymore, that you're willing to lose everybody and everything. Doesn't mean that you will, but be willing to do that, and then you stop giving your power away. And you notice a lot of people will still be there, but it's this whole thing of walking around feeling as though something's wrong with you, or that something has to be wrong in your life. And I don't mean that directly towards you. I mean that, just anyone could say that. Like, what's right in your world and what's good in your world? Focus on that stuff. And then when things do come up that you don't like, then just start asking, well, what can I do to change this? If you notice that this is something that's come up over and over and over again, and you do know what your knee-jerk reaction is, catch yourself and say, okay, I already know where this leads me. What can I do now instead? And you are very good at that. Even when we're talking to you, or when Diane was talking to you, you were catching yourself where you were going to go, and then you redirected. And it really is a daily process of redirecting your thoughts. Mm-hmm. I have not found a way to get around that.
On another level, I've been redirecting my thoughts. I've been doing my morning exercises, and my work has been tremendous. Like my,
Yeah, I was saying that you were doing really good at that. I was acknowledging that. Yeah.
Yeah, and my sales have jumped, and the boss at work is, saying, go ahead with your bad self, and I don't know if this was a couple of conversations ago where I was.
Wait, is this the one who wanted to fire you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wrote me up and everything. And so I am catching myself that, when you were talking about where are you standing on a lie, you just sort of made me aware that I quietly question, when I'm watching, whether it's The Voice or I'm watching someone achieve an award for some sort of creative effort, I cry because I'm so excited for them, but I'm also crying because I'm like, just fucking do it. And so where I am right now is just being hyper aware, I guess, of what's coming at me or who I'm having conversations with, and it does feel good living that way, because it's like opening doors every day, And
Aaliyah, let me ask you something. Are you truly willing to be the difference in this industry? Ooh.
Well, I thought about that today.
Yeah. So anywhere that you're not willing to be that different, to be the different, to choose different, to be the difference in the industry and to create something different? you let all of that go now? Because it's really great to clear the meaning that you create. You know, it's one thing to clear the meaning that we're placing on events and stuff like that, but you also have to be willing to be that different, to make those different choices, right? And to create something different.
Yes. Yeah.
And if a lot of other people are, you know, experiencing the same thing and they're hearing the same stories and they've had stuff happen in their lives and they kind of go into it expecting this, guess what you're creating?
More of the same.
Exactly. So are you willing to create something different and to be different? Are you willing to have the that career, that on-camera career, and not have a single one and like a single other, you know, and not have anybody else ever sexually harass you ever again? And I mean, obviously on the top of your head, you're going to be like, oh yeah, that would be great. People will, you know, but are you truly willing to be that person who doesn't have anything to relate to anymore when other people are telling their stories, that you would be like, yeah, no, that doesn't happen to me? Are you willing to be that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah.
And anything that doesn't allow that, are you willing to clear all of that? Whew.
Woo! I'm just sitting over here clearing silently for most of the show.
I'm the talker.
Well, I like to see your face. Like I'm staring at myself, which I guess that's fabulous too. But
yeah. It's pretty fabulous.
Nicer to see you, to play around with you.
So how's that feeling, Aaliyah?
It feels good.
Good.
Woo! Wow.
Yeah. And
so if
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if that's good, we'll go to another caller, but you can go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, no, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
But thank you for calling again. Call next week again.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad you're doing so well at work too.
I love hearing your updates every week. That's really, really awesome that things changed in your work. It's a really great, you know, it's great that just by your awarenesses and clearing stuff and choosing different things, you've changed. That's a perfect example of how you changed the reality of your work environment. Just by clearing some things and having awarenesses of how what you were creating, you created something different. And that's you. That's not anybody else around you, right?
Right. Thank you. Thank you for the insight. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.
So let's go to, well, we've got Emma and we've got Anita. Emma, I think you'll be okay if we go to Anita. I'm hoping you won't be upset with me if we go to Anita, because we've never talked to Anita, I think. So let's take Anita. Emma, I love you dearly. Hopefully you'll forgive me for skipping you tonight. Can we go to Anita, please?
Excuse me. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. I need to develop clarity in what's going on around me. I feel stuck, and I don't know how to with choices of doctors and that have not been really working well with me, and learn to be more self-confident and gain more clarity before I see them. So I don't know how to do this. Can you help me?
Yeah, I wanted to say, Althea, I don't know if you have something, but Anita, would you be willing to clear and change everywhere that you've bought the lie that you don't have clarity? And everywhere that you're bogging yourself down and distracting yourself with other people's opinions and thoughts and whew.
Okay.
Yeah. So everywhere you've bought and sold the lie that you don't have clarity, are you willing to let that go now?
Okay.
So what is it that you think you don't? It
started out when I told somebody I was confused. They said, well, say you need clarity. And they said to, ask for clarity. Say I need clarity to get through this. And so then it changed form.
Right. So then you started believing. Right. So then you started believing them that you didn't have it. Right. So all of that. Are you willing to let all of that go now? And everywhere that you give other people power, you let all of that go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like my whole life is taking people control over me, and when I'm feeling bad about the way I'm controlling myself, I don't feel I'm doing it right.
Oh.
I'm tired. Going on for a long time.
You're feeling bad about how you're controlling yourself or not controlling yourself?
Both.
Yeah. Okay, so everything that is, are you willing to clear and change that? To let all of that go?
Yes.
And so if the wrongness of you were a rightness of you or a strongness of you, what would that strongness be?
Give me an example.
Well, I just see what comes up when I ask you that. If there's a wrongness of you in how you control or don't control yourself, what would be a strength? What would be the opposite? Like not the opposite of the controlling, but wherever you've seen a wrongness before, what's the strongness there? What's the strength of you in that?
I escape. I go and I walk away from it.
Okay.
That's the way I handle it.
And what if your ability to control and not control were actually a strength instead of a wrongness?
That would be great.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So everywhere that you've made it wrong, are you willing to change and clear that now and let that go?
Yes.
Althea?
Hi, Anita.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
Okay. I would love for you to call. I'm doing pretty good. I would love for you to call back in next week at the beginning of the show. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So.
Because we're almost done.
Yeah. Is it really okay? Like, first thing that pops up for you. is it really okay for you to be strong and powerful? And don't say what you think is the right thing to say. What does it really feel like to you? And it's like, oh, you want to be strong and powerful. Does that feel a little heavy to you, a little tension? Or does it feel bright and sparkly and like, yeah, I can be powerful?
Yeah. I like it when I'm there.
Okay. Do other people like it, though? Yeah, do other people like it? Other people, do they like it? Yeah. So
it depends on the person.
Yeah, but I mean, people that were kind of primary in your life, do you notice where, do you feel as though a lot of bad things, like you don't even need to know what they are, but something bad's going to happen if you're strong and in your power? Just notice the energy. You don't have to figure out like a specific event. So everywhere that you feel that something bad's going to happen, and every time something bad did happen in any lifetime, space, or dimension when you were in your power and your strength, can we go ahead and release that and any entanglements and any energy structures? Just breathe.
Yeah.
Anywhere you're still playing this role, keeping yourself small as a way to keep yourself safe from some perceived danger. Anywhere you're trying to keep yourself small in order to be loved and accepted, whatever that is, just keep breathing into any areas in your body that call your attention.
We're getting, we gotta go.
Take your power back. Call us next week.
Yeah, and call us next week at the beginning of the show, Anita.
Okay, will you be there next week?
Of course.
Yeah, every Monday, 7 p.m. Pacific and 10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay, thank you, girls.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, everybody, for calling.
Thank you, everyone.
Achieve Radio.